All right. Good morning, everybody. Christina, is anybody waiting to come on? Okay, people are joining now. All right, let's give it a minute. Somebody else let in. Okay. Giving it like 30 more seconds just in case anyone else joins. All right, let somebody else come on. All right, I'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maria Thacker Gothi. I'm President and CEO of Georgia Bio. We're thrilled to have you with us this morning on this important webinar. As you know, Georgia Bio is the trade association for our life sciences sector. That includes our biotech companies, our medtech companies, diagnostic, and everything in between. We cannot thank you all enough for everything you're doing in response to COVID, and of course to support your own businesses during these unusual times. During this crisis, we certainly know that many of our small companies have been hard hit with the changing environment that we live in right now. And Georgia Bio is here to really support your organizations and help them save money through our purchasing programs. Georgia Bio, being the only state affiliate in Georgia of Bio, is able to provide our members with discounts through the nationally negotiated Bio Business Solutions program. Today we have 5 of our purchasing solutions on with us to give some short presentations, but it will be kicked off by Bob Dirth. Before I pivot over to them, I would like to invite our Sonia with Bio Alabama, if she is still on, to say a few words and welcome her own members that may be joining us today. We're very pleased to collaborate with our affiliates around the region on programs like this to definitely save our members time, but also get the message out as broadly as possible. Sonia, are you still with us?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I hope y'all can hear me loud and clear. A thumbs up if so. Echoing what Maria just said, we're thrilled to be partnering with Georgia Bio to deliver this important webinar during an economic uncertainty, managing your expenses, evaluating your line items, and seeing where you can save money so you don't have to cut possible salaries or other items in your budget. So this webinar is of particular interest to myself, and I know a number of Bio Alabama members to further evaluate areas that you can continue to save money, and Bio Business Solutions is an absolute great way to do that. So thanks for joining us again this morning, and we'll turn it over, Maria, for you to introduce our friend Bob.
Great. Thank you, Sonia. And again, welcome to our counterparts around the region. So with that, I'm going to invite Bob Dirth, who is the Regional Business Development Manager at Bio, the Biotechnology Innovation Organization, to kick off this program. Bob's been spent nearly 30 years at VWR before he joined Bio a few years ago, and we're really excited to have him as one of our points of contact. Additionally, after Bob speaks, we're going to hear from VWR, Office Depot, our newest program, Brex, UPS, and ShareVault. I always encourage companies that have not participated in BBS, of course, sign up for as much as you'd like, but if you just want to test the waters, one works. We're excited to get you all on board one of the programs and really see not only the value add we provide through our programming and our economic development and our government affairs work, but cash value and savings to all of our member companies through the purchasing programs. So with that, Bob, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, Maria and Sonia and Christina, for the great introduction. First of all, I want to thank some folks on this call, I'm sure, are already utilizing the program that we have, the Bio Business Solutions Cost Savings Program. I thank you for that. We thank you for that. The hope today is that if you're utilizing the program, that you discover something here today that you weren't aware of, or now you're enticed to look a little closer at some of the other programs that we offer that are part of the Bio Business Solutions. So a little background here. Bio, what is Bio? Bio is the Bio Innovation Organization. We're based out of Washington, D.C., and we are the trade association for the biotech industry. We were founded in 1993, and we have over 1,000 member companies of Bio itself, but we also have over 10,000 member companies who are members of our state affiliates like Bio Alabama and Georgia Bio. What is our objective? What do we do? Our goal is to support innovation in healing, feeding, and fueling the world. So that's what our companies are engaged in. What does Bio work on? Bio works on policy. We work on public opinion and business initiatives such as partnering and collaboration within the industry, and savings, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. Bear with me here. I think I still have control of this. There we go. Sorry. So as I mentioned before, Bio, we're a subset of Bio. We're Bio Business Solutions, and it's a cost savings program. It's the largest cost savings program in the industry. And what we are all about is bringing savings to our members. So if you're a member of Bio Alabama or Bio Georgia, this is a no charge benefit of your membership. So in my role, I work with companies up and down the East Coast, biotech companies, and no matter where I talk these days, I would say travel, but it's all virtual, just like we're doing here today. The impact of the pandemic varies, but the path forward is very, very consistent. First and foremost, people are concerned about employee safety and getting back to work or scaling up their work in a manner that is safe for their employees. And that's mission number one. But after that, most companies are really, really concerned about two critical areas, and that is capital preservation and operational expense reduction. So this program that we're talking about, the Bio Business Solutions program, is designed to help you control your expenses in all the critical areas of your business, quite frankly. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the program itself, how does it work? Why you should take full advantage of it, and what is the program all about itself? So we're talking about savings and convenience for our members. How does that actually work? Well, the program is set up so that we've got buying power. Last year, there was over $650 million in purchases on this program. So that's significant buying power. It's favorable when compared to any global pharma company. And by the way, some of the largest companies in our industry take advantage of this program and utilize at least one of the partners in the program. Our customer base, in other words, the number of member companies who are participating, it's over 4,500. So think about this. It gives us buying power, but it's all also leveraged on the life sciences industry. So we're able to focus on that and get better pricing for the member companies. So how is that done? The Bio team, we have a legal team and we have an advisory board. And so we have pre-negotiated and preferred contract pricing and terms for our members. I think the most critical thing that we have is our advisory board. It's designed to give you as members peace of mind. By that, I mean, we've got 15 people who are on our advisory board. They are purchasing professionals. They are finance professionals at member companies. And we've got them from a variety of industries, segments of our industries, such as bioag, such as healthcare, et cetera. And they're spread out from various regions across the country as well. And we meet monthly with them and review the current providers or partners that we have in the program. And we look at additional providers or programs that would be of interest. The most recent one that we added was Brex, which Steve Joseph will talk about in a little bit. But we've also recently renegotiated with UPS and, whoops, somebody bumped us ahead here, but okay, thank you. We currently renegotiated with UPS and Airgas, one of our other providers, to get more favorable pricing for our members. And that's based on more and more people taking advantage of it. It gave us the opportunity to get better pricing. Okay, so let's take a look at who the partners are. And there we go. Thank you. So the program is designed to deliver savings from your proof of concept to market. So the providers, we try not to have the providers overlap in terms of the services or products that they offer. So you'll see, we'll hear from VWR and Lab Supplies, and for example, and we don't have another lab supply partner, but we do have other partners such as Scientist.com on potentially outsourcing some of your science, or ALT for if you had excess equipment or you were interested in gently used equipment, and ALT will buy your excess equipment off you so you can utilize that capital to buy new stuff from VWR, for example. So, and then you'll see here is that we have providers who impact your front office, the laboratory, the production space, and just your general business. So the whole idea is to deliver savings, cost control, and efficiencies in all facets of your business. So at this point, Christina, I think you might still have control because I can't advance. Yeah, thank you. Going to hand this over to Stephanie at VWR to go over their program.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for the introduction. Everyone hear me okay? Thumbs up if you can hear me, I guess. That was a good tactic. Thanks for the great introduction, and thanks for hosting us here today, Maria. And pleased to be part of this with the BioAlabama team as well. I'll share that one of our team members, Tiara Green, who's the sales representative that covers our pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and industrial customers in Alabama, is on the line as well. So thank you all for joining. So, to Bob's point, really, it's all about savings in the laboratory supply space through VWR. The VWR Bio program, it's based on a leveraged spend of over $500 million as a customer. So the discount schedule that's in place and the various incentives are all tied to, that consortium contract. We have an aggressive discount structure. We also have hot lists in place for customers where not everybody has the same things that are needed to do their job. So, if there's particular items that are of importance to you or higher impact to you, we pass along additional discounts on that subset of items appropriately. We have a growth rebate in place. So members of our program get a 3% rebate back on incremental spend over prior year. We have freight incentives where our customers enjoy free shipping, our Georgia Bio customers enjoy free shipping from all of our VWR warehouses. There are no fuel surcharges or hazard fees applied to those shipments either. We have services discounts, and I'll get into kind of some of the areas of our business in just a moment on the next slide. But for example, we have a software program to help customers manage their inventory called VWR Inventory Manager. And as part of our bio program, that subscription is free for members. In addition to our growth-based rebates, which is over all of the incremental spend over prior year, we do offer e-commerce rebates to incentivize our customers to place their orders online. So depending on whether your spend is, at a lower or higher percentage, you'll get back, 50 cents to $1.25 per line of what you're spending online for the online ordering, which really speaks to greater efficiency, not only for our customers, but of course, on our side, enables our process to be streamlined to better service you. And then lastly, we have a dedicated customer service group. So there's a specialized team that's intended just for our bio customers. We have a lot of customer service representatives around the world, but we do keep a smaller, more specialized queue as an added incentive for our bio customers. So next slide, please. Thank you. So, our approach to servicing our customers really breaks down into 5 key areas. The first being that we are a full service lab distribution with a very large product offering. And we work with people who, may have known VWR for many years as a lab supplier or just as a chemical supplier. And the reality is the breadth of our portfolio, continues to expand as the years go on. We service biopharma, we service healthcare, education, government, advanced technologies, applied materials. The industries that we work with are fairly broad. And then the areas of business that we can support them with, like I said, lab supplies is obviously kind of the first thought for VWR. But as part of Avantor, we're also vertically integrated in the chemicals space. So we do supply both laboratory chemicals as well as production chemicals with varying specifications. We do furniture. We'll build out your lab similar to if you're doing a kitchen and you need casework and countertops, we'll do that in your laboratory space with product offerings such as chairs and shelves, and really kind of gets broad into the specialized furniture for our lab and production customers. We do equipment, chromatography. We get into medium and SEER and other life sciences. We support production critical environment spaces with PPE, with disinfectants, specialized mops and wipers, swabs, that kind of a thing. So, I really just, say that just to sort of expand the breadth of what you may have thought of us for. The discounts as part of the bio program can really get into other areas that you may not have worked with us on in the past. The second area, really beaker to bulk production offering. So as I mentioned, we do supply chemicals, both at a laboratory and a production scale. And for folks who are looking to sort of scale up, right, you might be, a startup, taking advantage of being part of this huge $500 million in spend as a consortium to get better discounts. Well, as you're growing, your needs are expanding. You might not be working with small bottles in the lab, but needing to get into drums and totes. And we can support you as you scale up through your business. An expanded service offering, and this is an area where we've really just continued to invest and expand our value proposition over the years. We have Avantor Services as part of our team, and they do, for example, on-site inventory management at our customers. We also do equipment qualification and services, but it's gotten into a software area as well as of late, which has been really interesting. So as I mentioned on the previous slide, our bio customers, as part of that, leverage spend and cost savings, we do provide you with the Inventory Manager software free of charge. It's a cloud-based software that helps you to kind of manage your inventory to par levels on site. But we have other programs that we've gotten into, such as VWR Equipment Manager, which is a Part 11 compliant equipment management cloud-based software. So really just continuing to grow and expand that offering for our bio members. Future technology innovation. This really speaks to how we are growing, and we try to keep an eye on where the industry is headed, right? So the science it's constantly growing and developing, and so we feel the need to be at the forefront of that with you. So what's going to come up next, what's important to our customers today, where are they headed tomorrow, and it's important for us to put our resources to that so that we can kind of be at the front line of that with you. So for example, bioprocessing, Avantor fluid handling as we get into greater demand in the single-use arena. We have material for advanced technologies, polymers, silicones. Really, it just continues to grow from there. And then lastly, our focused geographic reach. We are a global company. We have over 200 locations in over 30 countries. We have over 12,000 associates worldwide. But here in the US, our bio customers, we are able to service from local distribution centers across the US. In Georgia, we have a distribution center right there. So we can support our Georgia bio customers with next day service. We also can support our Alabama customers, just neighboring to us out of that distribution center, but also stocking products in Jersey, in California, and Illinois, all across the country. So the idea is we would, want to service you from your closest warehouse from a lead time standpoint. But since as part of Georgia Bio, you have free freight from all of our distribution centers, you would be able to pull from our inventory across the country. So thank you. Thank you so much for having me on, and I'll kick it back to Bob or to Christina to take us to the next one. Thank you.
All right, this is Steve Joseph from Brex. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Sonia, for inviting Brex to be part of this program. I'm going to be talking about capital preservation and capital management. Those are themes that you've heard so far from the previous panelists, and I'm going to continue that theme. As part of looking at capital management, capital preservation, you may be looking at credit options, or you should be looking at credit options as well. And that's really where Brex comes in. I'll tell you more about Brex in a moment, but first I just want to sort of identify the credit pain points, the credit challenges that companies have as they're getting started and even as they grow and become mid-sized companies. For many of you, if you founded a company or somebody in your company did start the company, maybe it's not you, but somebody else, you probably tried to get a credit card. You may be very often using a personal credit card or the CEO's personal credit card if it's not your card specifically. And that's because when young companies get started, and certainly in the life sciences arena, biopharmaceutical and med device and diagnostics companies, there's no customers, no revenue, and no credit history for quite a while. And so if you've tried to get a corporate credit card, you may be denied getting a card, or you're going to be asked for a personal guarantee. And that personal guarantee is often fairly awkward. For a founder, it's even more uncomfortable and a stress point sometimes if they have a partner or a spouse, because you're really tying your personal finances into the company. And you're not building a credit history for the company at that point. So that's some of the challenges that you may have just using a credit card today. You may be dealing with having to download transactions at the end of each month and spending 6 hours or so downloading transactions and then having to reconcile them or enter them into the accounting system and reconcile them afterwards. That can be a pain point, and we hear about that pretty regularly. We hear customers talking about spending 6 to 8 hours a month just doing that single activity. You may be buying some equipment from VWR or from Nikon, which is another partner of Bio, and the credit limit that you have from your current card may not be sufficient to acquire that equipment. And so you may be using a second credit card. We even hear about people spreading the expense across 3 credit cards. So that's another issue that companies run into. And then if you've got multiple cards or multiple people who are purchasing, it may be some of the executive team, it may be some business development folks, it may be purchasing or procurement, and you're managing multiple cards, there's just more pain associated with all of that. If your company is getting a grant from NIH, there's very strict compliance requirements on how that money from NIH gets spent. And you've got to make sure that that equipment or those supplies or whatever it is that you're spending that money on that is going to be reimbursed by NIH, you've got to make sure that that's accounted for properly. So all of this introduces complexity, difficulty, and inefficiency as part of your cash management. So what is Brex? Well, let's move to the next slide. And Brex is a credit card that is tailored specifically for companies in the life sciences industry. And so it was designed for members of this webinar, for the participants in this webinar, specifically for your companies. There's no personal guarantee. Again, if your founder or CEO or the CFO in the company had to do a personal guarantee, Brex doesn't require any personal guarantee. We don't do any credit checks. Our rewards are tailored specifically for life sciences, and I'll touch on that in a moment. And getting back to that challenge of integrating your expenses from your credit card company with your accounting system, Brex has built a seamless integration into a variety of different accounting systems. QuickBooks is what an awful lot of companies use right now to manage their expenses, but we also support NetSuite and some others, with others still coming. Our credit limits are significantly higher than what you get from your current card. And it's due to the way, I won't go into the detail right now, but it's due to the way that we underwrite and secure the credit. So the credit limits are higher, 10 to 20 times higher. And those are often sufficient to buy a whole microscope, which you might not be able to do from Nikon in one credit card today that you're using today. There's, you can allocate cards to multiple people in the company, and there's a single dashboard to manage all of those cards. There's a single dashboard to manage the credit limit for each individual. So not everybody has to have the same credit limit. There's total control over that. And there's no fees. There's no annual fees. There's no transaction fees. There's no foreign transaction fees. For the higher end cards, that often can be quite expensive. I touched on the rewards tailored for life sciences. And so this is some of the additional benefits that you get as a member of BioAlabama, as a member of Georgia Bio, as a member of Bio, or any of the 35 other life science associations that have endorsed Brex as well. You get 3x points on lab supplies. And that is also very significant. That includes, you know, you're getting nice discounts, as Stephanie just described. You're getting nice discounts, and there's tremendous potential for savings with VWR. If you use a Brex card to pay for those supplies and services, you get another 3x points, which is essentially another 3% discount on top of everything else that you've spent money on. And that's true for Office Depot. It's true for other expenses as well. It's not just tied to VWR, but obviously that's a significant one. Just for signing up with BioAlabama, signing up for Brex with BioAlabama and Georgia Bio as a member of the organizations, you get 60,000 points just for signing up. That, if you can be using that points toward travel when there's travel again, or you can redeem those points. And most companies, again, in the spirit of capital preservation and capital management, will redeem their points as a statement credit, and that works out to be $600 in total. So those, I just tried to touch on some of the elements for Brex and some of the benefits that you get as a member of one of these associations, BioAlabama, Georgia Bio, and Bio. Hope if you have any questions, I think the list of panelists will be, and our contact info will be distributed at the end of the webinar. You can also email bio@brex.com. So thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about Brex.
Good morning, everyone. I am Sarah Glazier with Office Depot. I am based here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Beautiful sunny day here. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out to learn a little bit more about the Bio Business Solutions program. There's a wonderful array of vendors on the call, so I'm sure that you will walk away with something that you didn't know prior to joining this call. So I'm excited to be here and happy to be a part of this team. And I've been managing the BioBusiness Solutions program with their team for probably more than 10 years now. And I think we've done a really good job of putting together a member benefit program that's going to help drive down your costs, especially in these times. I think everybody on the call feels the same way relative to how do we drive down costs and continue to drive down those costs, and how do we as vendors support you in your initiatives and your cost savings goals. So a little bit about the Office Depot program and the benefits that are available to you are not just discounts. I mean, we all know that we've pre-negotiated these discounts with Bio and with the affiliates, Georgia Bio and Bio Alabama, but we also offer that flexibility similar to the way some of the other vendors do to help you meet your savings goals, which is very exciting. If you have that certain product that you need and it's off the beaten path of what's already been pre-negotiated, we have that flexibility to help you drive down those costs in those areas. We have additional incentives around volume rebates depending on your organization and the spend that's associated with that. With Office Depot, we're excited to offer volume rebates that would come directly back to you, your organization, to help you with the bottom line of your savings. One of the things that you might not think about related to Office Depot is we're not just office supplies, right? Not pencils and pens, ink and toner, those things. We offer a wide assortment of cleaning and break room products. We've done a very good job, I feel, of putting products on there. It's going to help you clean your labs and support you in your break room supplies and those types of things. So think about us when you go to think about cleaning your lab or supporting your break room. We've put together a strong pricing structure to support you in those efforts. Copy and print is something that has really starting to take off with the membership across the country. You can submit a copy and print order online. You can pick it up in the store or have it delivered directly to your office. It's sent to a closed door print facility. They'll print it and ship it directly to you. And I believe it comes either UPS or one of our drivers will deliver it. So furniture, let's talk a little bit about that. Furniture is, we can help you not only in your home office today with a chair or a desk, or even in your office if you have some type of file cabinet need, but we can also help you design your office if you're moving. We have folks that can help lay out and design that office to help it be the most functional for you and at a very cost-effective way. The last thing I'm going to touch on here about other products and services is our IT services and our technology, everywhere from hardware to software licensing as well. Office Depot supports that through the BioBusiness Solutions program, and you all have access to this just by being a member of Georgia Bio, Bio Alabama, or any of the state affiliates across the country. Now, PPE, we know, is a very sensitive subject nowadays. Office Depot does have product. We do have a level 3 face mask. We also have hand sanitizer, face shields, those types of things. So if you want to learn more about, you're in need for some PPE product, you could either email the bio@officedepot.com or reach out to me directly, and I can get you all the information that you need relative to that. So we're all working from home these days. I think states are starting to open up slowly, but we have done a great job, I feel, in helping the members get up and running. We've acted quickly in getting them hardware, printers, all the supplies that they need, as well as the remote IT support, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about on the next slide. But what's good to know about Office Depot is we're here. You know, we're a name that you know and that you can trust. We've worked very hard with BIO to bring this member benefit to you, and our stores are open. You can go into the store, or you can order online, pick up, or we'll deliver it directly to your home. So reach out to me or reach out to the mailbox to learn more about that. The next slide I'm going to touch on is something that we've recently launched that has been asked for by many, many, many of the BIO Business Solutions participants, and that is technology support. So you may not be a large organization where you can have your own IT desk or your support system that you can go to when you're having issues with technology. So we're now offering 2 levels of support through our sister company, CompuCom, under the Office Depot brand, is remote tech support. So it's a subscription service where you could pay $9.99 a month, and you have those array of services that are listed on the screen, or then we have an upgraded 24/7 tech support that's $19.99 a month. Just reach out to us if you'd like to know more about that, either the mailbox, or if you already have or are participating and know who your account manager is, you can reach out to them, and we'll get you all that information with the activation instructions. It has been embraced very well across the community, and I think you'll be very satisfied with it. So with that said, those are the only 2 items that I wanted to talk to you about today, was our overall capabilities, as well as our support to you and to the members of each of the state affiliates with our technology services. And I look forward to working with you soon, and hope this information was very helpful. Back to you.
Thank you, Sarah. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Next we have Michelle Mendoza from UPS. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Again, thank you for the opportunity to be able to share about UPS and what we're doing today. So super excited. The end of last year, it was fun, I think in Q4, it was announced that UPS was going to be starting a new healthcare division. I am happy to say that it launched earlier this year, and UPS Healthcare and Life Science Division was created. There's over 5,000 individuals worldwide right now. We're actually launching into other areas too, with a huge focus on healthcare. So, why did UPS do this? Why did we think that it was important to, establish an entire division for healthcare? And it's really the need. It's the need of the world. It's the need of businesses. It is definitely a unique area that we're focusing on. It's different from your, t-shirts or socks that you might ship through UPS. We understand the critical need and sensitivity of a lot of the packages that move through our network related to healthcare. One of the things that we want to bring to the forefront is quality. Understanding in the healthcare world, that is definitely something that is expected. A patient expects a quality experience. They expect to be taken care of. So this is really on the forefront for us. It's all about focusing on the quality. In another area of focus, obviously, the patient, what happens when they're requesting medication, or what happens when they're asking for something specific to be sent to their home, or even more critical, a hospital or a physician situation where they're waiting for a package or a shipment. So we really look at the end user, and the end user is the patient, wanting to make sure that product or the medication arrives quickly and promptly to not disrupt the patient in any way. So again, another area of focus for healthcare. Innovative technologies. I know some of you may have seen, we're doing some great things in that space right now in regards to drone. I reside in Florida, so we actually have seen it firsthand. We've partnered with CVS, and there's a large area of retirees in a certain community. And during the whole COVID situation, when it first started, and there was a little bit of nervousness about delivering packages directly to some of those patients. And so we have now partnered with CVS in that particular location, where all of the shipments go from their location via drone and dropped off directly to the patient's doorstep. So huge advancements that we're making, and again, a lot of investment going into the technology piece. And then, as I spoke about, the peoples and processes, again, over 5,000 individuals that are specifically dedicated to healthcare. The sales folks that are out there focus directly on healthcare and nothing else at this point. And then looking from a global scale, again, I don't think a lot of people understand that some of the things that we have to offer, and obviously worldwide, if you're looking at healthcare, I mean, we can do it anywhere in the world. We have over 220 countries and territories that we are present in. Over 8 million square feet of healthcare facilities that can be utilized, and that can be anything from medical equipment, medical device. We have some skin grafting. It's pretty unique situation because you're at the end of runway at some of these locations. Again, in the US, our major hub being in Louisville. So that particular location could reach most of the United States within a 4-hour period if there's a critical express need, which we have those services available as well. If we could go to the next slide. So this is an overview of what the portfolio looks like from UPS in regards to, the focus of healthcare, specific to these different, and we call them segments or subsegments as we refer to them. Lab and lab specimen is something that we have really took a deep dive into. This is, again, a unique space, especially coming into COVID. We've been able to partner with the White House, with the government, CDC, and actually come up with very unique supply chain layouts and designs based on the need of that particular business. If they need to get a test kit out somewhere and have it returned back to a different facility, or if now we're seeing some home testing. So we're working a lot behind the scenes with different businesses and help them lay out what the supply chain would look like as a whole. Obviously, anything related to medication is something that we also take pride in. We do have abilities with different packaging, predetermined packaging that is certified. So if it's a pharmacy that has to maintain a certain degree on a shipment, we're able to do that from a small package all the way up to, air and ocean, well, not ocean, depends on time, but air freight and small package, we're able to maintain those temperatures during the duration of the shipment. And then obviously mentioning the implantable medical device distribution. That's again something we can do if you wanted to house it yourself, or if you're looking at it maybe a 3PL. Again, keeping in mind that we have facilities across the country and then of course worldwide that could get those implantable devices to those end users a lot faster as well. Home health, I think we're all seeing the days of Teladoc and the days of having medication and supplies sent directly to your home. We are, again, very well versed and working out the supply chain for those needs as well. And then on the clinical trial side, we work very closely with many labs that are involved in clinical trials. We also have a division of UPS that's called Marken, and Marken actually manages a very large piece of clinical test trials. So if that's something that is of interest, we could definitely discuss that. Specialty pharma, same thing. We do have different facilities. If you were looking at storing your medication to reach patients in a quicker time frame, we have those facilities available as well, and they are staffed with pharmacists and licensed individual to maintain the drugs and fill the drugs, and in some cases controlled substance as well, because we do have vaults in some of the facilities. So depending on where your geographical reach is. And again, speaking directly to the warehouse distribution, the only thing I haven't seen anything that we will not take into one of those facilities. So I would say it's very well vast as to what type of supplies and equipment. If you have it, we probably will have a location, close by or, within a certain reach in order to, again, distribute those items very quickly to a patient. And if we go to the next slide. So what does this mean to everyone on the call? This is a special agreement that was put in place, and Bob mentioned that earlier. We negotiated a very great rate for all the members of Georgia and Atlanta and Alabama. So this is a range of discounts indicated on the slides. Again, depending on what type of volume you have and how many shipments a day, it will determine where exactly you would fall in that and those incentives in that range. We do also have specialized services available, different solutions that we can provide. And again, those can be offered at a discounted rate to you as members. And it's very easy to enroll. We can do it directly through a portal. So if anyone has an interest in that, you can reach out to myself or Bob, and we can give you specific instructions on where you would log into and attach yourself to this agreement so you can start taking advantage of the incentives that we have to offer. And there are incentives for international movement. So if you're importing or exporting, that's something we could take a look at as well. So a ton of information. I know that was crammed in a short amount of time, but I am always available to take questions offline and help you as needed. So once again, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Michelle. Our next speaker is Mike from ShareVault, and I think he's got some very interesting information to share with the folks here today. So it's all yours, Mike.
Okay, thanks, Bob, and thanks to Maria and Sonia too for sponsoring this event. So ShareVault, we've been a biosolutions provider since 2013, and we're a software company that basically allows life science companies to protect and manage confidential information. And throughout the lifetime and growth stages of a life science company, as you know, the industry is highly regulated from day one until commercialization of your drugs. It continues, and it's a very data and document intensive industry. And as you can imagine, a lot of that information is highly confidential. It's not just intellectual property, but it's information in regulatory submissions, clinical trial information, pre-clin information and data and that sort of thing. So what I wanted to really focus on here is ShareVault's been used in multiple applications. Many of you or many of the life science industry who know us from the Bio Association has used us in what we call business transaction due diligence. So for younger companies or even mid-stage companies that are raising money or perhaps involved in an M&A transaction or an IPO or asset sale or technology transfer, is ShareVault provides a secure cloud-based environment for having your information in a single central repository that you can control access to and protect that information. So in addition to business transactions, we now more and more see our companies, even after they've completed a transaction, using ShareVault on an ongoing business. And what happens as the company goes through various stages, pre-clin to clinical and regulatory, they're engaging with lots of service providers that are working with them, and they have a need to share and protect information as work product between those entities. And so we see ShareVault being used as a secure central repository. And the advantage of that is it mitigates the risks of cybersecurity, which has become more and more of an issue, as you can imagine, with intellectual property theft and hacking, et cetera. Also protects information from unauthorized access and information leakage. So we see those types of applications and are continuing to see more applications. Also collaboration and sharing. So part of the life science industry, particularly with small companies, is collaboration with potential partners. whereby they may be collaborating on an R&D project, but they also may be collaborating in clinical trials. And many times those collaborations require ongoing sharing and exchange of information. We also see our companies realize that if they have investors, they need to communicate with investors, their board members, their scientific advisors, CROs and vendors, as I mentioned, because you have information that they want to protect and share on a specific use basis. We also see more and more in what I call audit and compliance, and this became much more important as companies are in the a clinical side, because there are requirements, at least by the FDA and probably other regulatory agencies, to be inspection ready. That has to do with the opportunity for the FDA to want to come and audit something that's going on in your clinical trial or even a past clinical trial. And so we have very unique capability relative to any of the other cloud-based document sharing systems in supporting unique industry-specific document formats. So regulatory submissions, the standard has become, and driven by the FDA as well as accepted by others, regulatory agencies throughout the world, ECTD-based standard. It's very complex document structure. We also can support electronic trial master files, which is critical. As you complete a study during your clinical trial phases, you have to have, at least in the US, a trial master file that's also in a somewhat standard template that we can support. And also, obviously, if you're sharing any kind of patient information or other kinds of compliance and review information, you want to be compatible with HIPAA, obviously, and 21 CFR 11, which ShareVault provides the tools to allow you as a customer of ShareVault to satisfy those requirements. And real interesting application that is very, very relevant for today's world in terms of our pandemic. We've seen ShareVault being used now because of the remote work environment that a lot of life science companies are having to support. And this is a great way for remote workers to have access to certain critical information of the life science company, whereby he's not in the company, resident in the company on a daily basis. We had, for example, one application where a life science company scientist was able to come into the company to run some experiments, and he would collect data on those experiments, but then he would go home. And the question was, how do I use that data to do more analysis while I'm working from home? So an example of how ShareVault could be used to support that kind of remote work environment where you have critical information that you want to protect. And then the most recent application, which is very significant here, as you know, is during the pandemic, it's been problematic for continuing to run clinical trials in a number of ways. Because of safety concerns and travel concerns, sometimes it's difficult for patients to actually go for their visit to the trial site, or they have to arrange for home care visits and that sort of thing. But also, as part of any type of clinical trial, there's a requirement to do site visits, and that is done by specific sponsors of the trial or their service providers like CROs to actually visit the trial sites and to do reviews to make sure that the trial site is running the trial and compliant with the design, if you will, of the trial. Well, with the restrictions in travel, how do you do that? So we have customers now starting to use ShareVault, whereby they can do remote, if you will, site review of clinical trial site documents in ShareVault, where the trial site can upload specific documents that are required for review, and then the remote clinical research associate can do their review, and even to the extent of certifying that they have actually reviewed it with our ability to integrate with an e-signature type of software package called DocuSign. So, you know, the advantage of this, of course, it reduces delays in critical clinical trials and prevents a disruption of that trial. So we see lots of continuing applications, and these applications are relevant within a company, and depending on the size of the company, it may be with different operational departments. So we see our ShareVault being used in business development. We see it being used with the general counsel's office or the CFO, and now more and more we see in regulatory ops or clinical operations using ShareVault for a number of these types of applications. So next slide, yes. So our competitive advantage is because we're an information security and sharing software that doesn't require any software installation by the customer, is that we have very efficient configuration tools. So all of those applications I mentioned can be self-configured by our customer. And we have multiple security layers to protect information from the time it's uploaded through the time it's reviewed to the time it's made available as a download, and even being able to secure it on an actual remote device such as a notebook or PC or even a mobile device. Very granular access controls, so you can control the kind of access that any of the users of the system have. Detailed activity reporting, this is extremely important to support audits and compliance. And then the ability to organize lots of documents in complex structures, folder, subfolder structures. And as I mentioned before, the amount of information that these life science companies collect during their various phases is substantial, and you want to have it organized in a way that is easy to navigate and find the information that's relevant for your particular application. We also can connect to other document repositories, and this is part of being able to centralize all your confidential information into a single source of truth, as I like to call it. So we have connectors to SharePoint, Office 365, Box, Dropbox, and DocuSign, as I mentioned before. And then also for some companies, we have integration tools where they can potentially integrate ShareVault into an existing software application and make a much more efficient workflow. Our cost savings for our solution is typical 12-month description, we discount 20%. We have more and more of our customers signing up for multiple year subscriptions because they see this ShareVault being used on an ongoing basis in their operations. And so we offer an additional 5% discount. And then the other service we offer for free is many companies may have confidential information in certain systems, and migrating that information and preserving its structure can be a challenge for them, and we offer what we call free migration services. So I hope that helps help you understand the variety of applications we're used in, and thanks very much for allowing me to present today. And obviously if you have questions, we can arrange for additional follow-up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mike. We really appreciate it. Hand this back over to Christina.
Yes, awesome. Well, thank you to all of our panelists for joining us today. This is very helpful information for all of our companies. We'll be sharing this presentation on our YouTube channel, and we'll also be sending out this to everybody that attended along with all the contact information. I know we've run out of time for any Q&A, but you can reach out to anybody through that email. Sonia, did you want to talk about some of your upcoming events?
Sure. Every week, BioAlabama is hosting what we're calling BioAlabama Briefs. The purpose is very simple. We wanted to keep our bioscience community connected during COVID-19 and beyond. They're designed to be small group, casual conversations, and each week we have special guests. So you can find the information on our social channels or check out our website at bioalabama.com. And we also have a list of some other events that are on our event calendar. So we would love to have you all participate. Thanks so much.
Perfect. Thanks, Sonia. And then for Georgia Bio, we have a few more coming up this week. We have a town hall with Senators Butch Miller and Dean Burke on Thursday. And then we are doing a back to work webinar on Friday to talk about how to create your strategy, along with a couple of others. But again, thank you guys so much for joining, and we hope to see you at the next event. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.